Don't come shouting, talking about, hey, you don't value me, this and this and this. I'm the one always doing this and this and this. No, be calm about it. You're listening to Inside Young Minds, the podcast exploring the thoughts, fears, and hopes of today's youth. Let's dive in. Hello, guys. Welcome again to Inside Young Minds. Welcome. And I've missed you guys. It's been a minute since I last made a video, but I'm back again. And in today's episode, we're talking about feeling like a backup friend. Think to a time where you felt like you didn't matter until no one was available. Nobody checked on you. You had friends, but you felt invisible. So tune in this video as we talk about it. We will be exploring and seeing what being a backup friend means, why it hurts, possible reasons as to why you are a backup friend, and basically what you can do to make it a bit favorable for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. Have you ever noticed that you only get invited when everyone else is busy? Or people text you last minute, basically like you were not their first choice. And in most cases, you were not, let's be honest. And the thing is, that feeling hurts. It hurts so much. It can drain you. It can lead to self-doubt. It can lead to confidence drop and so much more. What does being a backup friend mean? This means that basically let's say you have a group of friends, and most of the time, or you have a friend who also has other friends, and you're not really their priority. They only contact you when the plans they had with the other friend or other friends are no longer available. Like basically the plans are cancelled, and maybe you're not included in group hangouts. Or even if you're in the group hangouts, you feel alone even though you're with people, right? And so you are also always initiating things, like, can we hang out today? Like, are you available to do this and this? Instead of it being, you asking or them asking, like basically being mutual. This is not mutual. It means that you are constantly the one fighting to be heard, to hang out, to do things together and all that. And like I said, this can be like a bullet to your chest. So it can hurt. Now, let's talk about why it hurts so much. Why does feeling like a backup friend hurts? Well, the thing is, us as human beings, we tend to want to belong. And in these moments, you're not feeling like you belong because obviously you don't really belong there because you're being ignored, you're being second looked, you're being overlooked. And so you're only there when they need you. They only call you not to check up on you, but to see if you can help them. When the friends that are important to them abandon them, that's when they come to you or when they need your help. And now I understand that this is hurtful. And a lot of people go through this more than you can imagine. Some people have had this feeling or have had to fight against this for as long as they have lived. Let's say there are people who are in their 20s and they have been feeling like they don't belong within their friend group for the longest time ever, since they were young and all that. And others are adults now. Well, 20s is you're an adult basically, but you're a young adult. And so there are others who are in their 40s as well who feel like they've never really had real friends who they connect with. And like I said, that can hurt so much. And the thing with being overlooked by your friends, it can mess up with your confidence. You start to question your worth. You're like, yeah, maybe I'm not really all that. Maybe I'm not really that important. And the thing is that some people might overlook you or undervalue you, not because they want to, but because they don't notice it. You know, so you have to understand. I'm not gonna say you have to understand why you're being overlooked, but sometimes it just means you don't belong there anyways. And so other people have other who they prioritize. As they say, you're not supposed to force something that's real, you know. And also, um, another thing I want to talk about when it comes to feeling like you're a backup friend, what it can do to you. This can lead to you becoming a people pleaser. If you know what a people pleaser is someone who does everything possible within their power to make sure that they have a stable image around others. They look good to others, even if it ends up hurting them, their self, self worth, self respect. You know, uh, you always want to do things to please others, even if you don't want to do that thing, you do it because you want to please that person. And so this is what being overlooked can create. When other people are leaving you out, you start to question yourself, and then you're like, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I just need to do a little bit more. And now your energy shifts from caring about yourself and looking after yourself to wanting to please others all the time. And the one thing I can say, if anybody who's watching this video has ever been a people pleaser, you know it's not very appealing, right? And I know a lot of people who are people pleasers think that being a people pleaser is okay, and it can be. In my opinion, it's not, because you're being used. And the thing about being a people pleaser, when you are always trying to please others, and there are people who see this and then they take advantage of you and they use you so much, you know. So feeling like a backup can create so many things and so many hurtful moments as well. Another thing that this does, it can also lead to you feeling lonely even when you're not alone, even when you're with people, you know? Let's say you go hang out with your friends and you s- they look like they're engaging more with others than you. Now, I know this might sound strange, but people who feel like backups know this. You are going to notice, even even if it's a little detail, even if it's little details, you will notice. Because I feel like if you feel like you're a backup, you kind of already know, right? And when you're with your friends and they don't engage with you as much, you're hanging out with them and conversations seem to be flowing, but for you, you still feel alone, just because, just because you don't feel like you're connecting to a level that you're supposed to be connecting to. Number three that I want to talk about are the possible reasons as to why you feel like a backup friend, or why you are a backup friend. Don't be ashamed. If you ever felt like a backup friend, comment the word backup. I mean, now you don't have to feel ashamed for it. It's not your fault, right? And here are some reasons as to why you might be feeling like a backup, or why you are a backup. Number one is your friends always assume that you're available. Like I said, some of them do it not because they want to, but because they're not aware of it. Now, what do I mean by your friends might feel like you're always available? Picture this: your friend has a trip with one of their friends, but the other friend cancels. Now, you didn't know anything about this. And now that friend calls you and says, hey, this and this, there's a trip and I don't want to go by myself. Would you like to come? And in your mind, for you, you just drop everything and say, yes, I will come. I can accompany you on your trip. Now, let me remind you, you just dropped everything. To your friend, if it happens once, twice, three times, then your friends start to see that you're always available no matter what. So when they abandon you, they feel like it's not really that important because anytime they can come back and you would allow them. That's one thing that you have to understand. Another thing I want to say is some people don't realize how it feels, right? What does that mean? You know how when you feel like you're back up, it hurts. You doubt yourself, you question yourself, you are like, yeah, maybe I don't belong, this and this. They have never liked me, this and this. Someone else who's never felt that way is never going to understand what you're going through. So it can just be that some people have never experienced it, so they don't really know how hurtful it can be. That's another reason. Another one is uh, you outgrew your friends, or you outgrow friendships. Because the thing is, you have many friends. You have friends as a child. When you become when you enter your teen years, you become an adult. In all those stages, you have friends. But the truth is that not all those friends will always be there. Things are going to change. You're going to outgrow some of them. Your values are going to shift and change. The values that you had with someone when you guys were 10 years old is not going to be the same as when you're 20, right? And sometimes the values you had with someone when you both were like in your 20s is not going to be the same when you're in your 40s, right? So you guys outgrow each other. You grow to have different interests as well, right? And if you have not noticed that, before you notice those changes and the fact that you guys are outgrowing each other, you can still feel like you're being a backup, right? Just because we have different views and values doesn't mean that I'm not gonna need you at some point. That's why I say never just cast someone aside, right? You don't have to hang out with someone every day, but just be nice, be kind to them because at some point you're going to need them. We all need each other. No one ever grows to not need the other person. Yes, you might never need me to sacrifice or give my kidney for you to leave, but you're going to need me in some other ways. And it's vice versa. We're all going to need each other. So that's another thing that you need to, take note of. Okay, last but not least, because there's so much more feelings and reasons behind this, is what can you do for this to change in your favor a little bit or move from it and improve? The one thing is stop over chasing. Now, what I mean is if you don't feel valued, stop chasing the person that doesn't value you. If you're in a friendship, if you have a friend who constantly makes you feel like you're a second choice or you don't matter, stop trying to be clingy. Stop clinging to them, even when you know that they're never going to see you in the way that they should. They're going to give you the value that you deserve. Stop over chasing. Sometimes the best thing you can do is move on from what's holding you back. And a lot of those things hold you back from your potential, from what you could do, from self improvement, and all that. Okay. Another thing, start too much effort. If your friend never reaches out and says, let's hang out, right? If your friend, if you're constantly the one telling your friends, let's do this, let's make plans, this and this, but they never reciprocate that, maybe it's time that you match their energy. Change that, be the same, right? After all, you are who you hang out with. If one is not showing you value, if one is making you feel like you're not that important, then match their energy, right? If someone is showing you love, show them love. If they're showing you hate, don't hate them, right? But there's no need to overlove them, right? Love all your friends and the people you meet. Never throw hate on anyone, but definitely much energy. It might sound mean, but it's the only way that you're going to save your morals. It's the only way you're going to build boundaries. It's the only way you're going to understand your self value. It's the only way you're going to have self respect. So keep that in mind. Another thing is speak up if it really matters to you. Calmly, though. Don't come shouting, talking about, hey, you don't value me, this and this and this. I'm the one always doing this and this and this. No, be calm about it. If it really matters to you, if you're really feeling like you're being left behind or being feeling like you're not as important as you should be or as they say, if it's really important to you, talk to your friend. Tell your friend. Maybe because, like I said, sometimes they don't notice it. So come to your friend, tell your friend, I don't like what's happening, this and this, and I would like it to change. And then if it doesn't change, now you know that it's not that they didn't realize it, it's that they really never valued you. Another thing is protect your time. Don't always be available. I don't know how much I can stress this for, but when you're overly available, not only are people going to use you, but they're going to use you in a way that even you are going to look at yourself and start telling yourself, I'm nothing. You have to understand. You can't always be trading your time for people who don't care about you, for people who make you feel like you're a second choice. Now, I'm not telling you that make every single person a priority, right? But in some cases, in some moments, in some circumstances, allow for you to be a priority to someone, right? If our friendship matters, then I'm going to make sure, we're going to make sure we reciprocate the mutual respect that shows that our friendship is intact and it's important. And so, if people don't do that with you and you're the only one always doing that, protect your time. Stop wasting your time on people who don't deserve it. Protect your energy. Save your energy for other things that are important. Like I said, those who show you love deserve love, but those who don't show you love, they deserve love too, but just not in a way that harms yourself. Another thing, you need to notice people who show up without being asked to show up. We all have good and bad friends, but we have those friends who God put in your life to make your life better. They're those friends that will always be there to check up on you, make sure you're okay, right? And those are the most important friends. Notice those people. When you start to notice who shows up when you're not asking them to show up, who shows up even when it feels like nobody really needed to show up, those are the real ones. keep those close. Those are real friends, and those are the ones that deserve your energy and love and effort. Right? So notice those people who are willing to show you that you matter to them, willing to show you that you don't need to put in triple the effort that everyone does in order for you to be shown love. Those are the people that you need to notice. And when you notice those people, make sure you keep them around. Now, one thing I want you to, if you didn't catch anything, the one thing I would like for you to take from this video is that you don't need to beg for a seat at a table that does not respect you. I repeat, you don't need to beg for a seat at a table that does not respect you. If people don't make you feel important, there is no reason for you to push and try to sit on their table. If people don't respect you, there's no reason as to why you need to try and please them so that you can still sit at that table. One thing I always say, you were born to stand out, so there's no reason for you to try to fit in. Your group is out there. You just need to find it. Matter of fact, people who value authenticity will find you, and those are your people. So, once more, you don't need to beg to sit on a seat of a group of people that don't respect you. Absolutely not. If I've been yapping all this and you did not get anything, let that be the one thing that you take from this. Now, I have a few questions that I want to ask you guys. Those are questions that I want to ask you, is things that I want you to think about. First of all, think about who usually texts first in our friendship. It might seem like it's not important, but there are people out there who would never text you, always waiting for you to initiate the conversation. And like I said, it should be mutual. Both of you should be doing it. It shouldn't be coming from one side. Another thing, do I feel valued or do I feel tolerated in my friendship? Do they tolerate you or do they value you? They're two very different things. Maybe they tolerate you because there's something that you bring to the table that they want, but valuing you is something completely different. Another thing is who celebrates your wins and who's there when you're losing. It's important to notice that the people who celebrate your wins, because not everyone is going to do that. Trust me. People out there might show you that they're happy for your wins, but in reality, in the dark, they're jealous. And if they had a way to sabotage it, they would. So you need to notice those people who celebrate your wins and also those who are there to comfort you when you're losing. That is as important as those who celebrate, right? Those who are there with you when you're going through a hard time, So when you win, those are the people who should also be on your table. Another question is that you can ask yourself is, who disappears when I stop reaching out? See, the best way to know whether you are tolerated or valued in your friendship is for you to back out a little bit, right? Don't overdo things. Follow the flow state. You also, like I said, match the energy. If you stop reaching out, those people who don't really value you, you will notice because they'll disappear, right? They'll disappear because you're no longer there to give them the satisfaction, right? So notice those people as well. Now, closing and finishing up, I want to let you know that being a backup doesn't really have to define you, and it does not define you. It just might mean that sometimes you're standing in the wrong circle. You're with the wrong people, and you just need to find the right people, your people. And friends, real friends don't make you feel replaceable. They should be making you feel wanted. Your real friends are different from the fake ones, and the real ones will always make you feel wanted instead of making you feel like they can replace you at any given moment. Because remember, at the end of the day, there's only one you. There might be somebody that might look like you, but they're not you. You are different. You are you. You have your own unique qualities that God created you with that are different from someone else. So there's no reason for you to abandon your uniqueness for someone else who doesn't even care for you or value you as much as they should. Now, if this episode hit home, or if this episode feels like something that you resonate with or connect with, and you know someone else who it can also help, share with them, so that we can all learn. Share with them, and I will appreciate that. But as I always say, keep on growing, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching or listening to Inside Young Minds. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow and share it with someone else who might need it. You can also find us on Instagram at inside_young minds for updates and behind the scenes. Now, there's new episodes every week, but until next time, take care of yourself and keep on growing.